The retirement home I work at isn't normal. Hello, I really shouldn't be writing this, but I need to get this out there. The retirement home I work at isn't normal. We take in people and things that aren't exactly normal. One of my favorite patrons of the Arden home is Esmeralda Tootin. It is well known that she was a famous serial killer in the 70s. She targeted mainly single mothers with twins. Her most famous murder was the Ascon family in 1979, also one of her last murders before being sent into retirement. This murder was the first that she started to experiment with torture. She said she did this because she was a twin herself, and her mother heavily abused her. Not the most exciting backstory I know, but there is other interesting stuff around here. This place also has a bunch of cool objects that are said to be haunted, or even cursed by the devil himself. Like we have a typewriter that, if you close your eyes and start typing random letters and numbers, you can find out how you die. I'm supposed to die next week, which is why I'm writing this. The help at this place never lasts long. I'm actually considered a veteran, even though I've only been here for 3 years. There's no point fighting the typewriter though. People have tried, of course, but no matter what, the typewriter never fails. I knew someone that was killed by a falling piano, as cartoonish as that is. He did live in a nicer neighborhood, and I guess fancy people need their pianos moved. He was on his way to work, too. I have to go take care of Mr. Malone now, see ya. Hi, Mr. Malone was getting out of hand. He was the infamous San Antonio scalper. He would find people that he thought had lovely hair, stalk them for a period of 3 to 5 days, then scalp them and take their hair. He made some pretty interesting stuff out of them, too. One of my favorites is his black hair ghillie suit that he would use for stalking people. He would also make ropes to restrain some of his murder victims. He wouldn't kill the scalped, but anyone with bad hair he would kill. He does not like redheads, which is the reason we don't hire any, not after Jenny, at least. Jenny was nice, but to Mr. Malone's credit, she had great hair. I guess she didn't look up where she was working, because she went missing after only 2 days. Mr. Malone walked around with a newly strung necklace after that. I guess a lot of you may be wondering why serial killers go into retirement and not, jail or hell. I don't really know either, to be honest, and the owners refuse to tell me when I see them. Some of the dishwashers around here have a theory that we are in hell, but with how much stuff they smoke, I pay them no mind. They are fun to hang out with though. I haven't read what the typewriter said about me. I'm not ready for that yet. I've had others look at it, but all they say is that they're sorry. Oh, weird, right? Anyways, I still have work to do, and my break is almost over. Bye for now. Hello again, here I am, hi. Our psychic, MS. Pusho came up to me and told me something strange. She said that I was going into retirement soon. Odd, since I'm only 22. She was, however, very insistent. She isn't often wrong. I guess I better buy a lottery ticket. Oh wait, I'm going to die soon. So why am I retiring? Anyways, I guess I'll tell you how we deal with our more difficult patrons. As I said in the last entry, Mr. Malone often targets people with nice hair, which is why it is recommended that each employee gets regular haircuts, all paid for by the company. He gets a little hair deprived and starts trying to scalp other patrons, which is when we have to step in. Usually we just drag someone out from the basement whose hair has grown nice and long. Sometimes we just toss him an employee though, if he's really upset. Normally one of the underperforming staff that has hair that can hold him off long enough to get someone out of the basement. Their performance usually improves after that. We have procedures like that for every patron. The basement is a labyrinth of horror, and it is often that people will get lost in there. We've recently bought trackers for cell phones to prevent this. It's been very effective. Our procedure for Esmeralda is also very particular. We have to retrieve either an actual family of a single mother with twins, or people that look close enough, and drop them off somewhere in the building. She then hunts them down. This happens once a month, and they usually escape the premises before she can get to them. They lived very happy lives in the basement though, and sometimes they get Stockholmed into coming back, hoping that they can go back into the basement. Outside life is pretty hard. Those people get killed pretty quickly. Speaking of coworkers, let me tell you about some of them. The first one is Bruce. Bruce is the only other veteran around here besides me. He's been here 5.5 years and is looking like he'll get a promotion pretty soon. Promotions are cool because you get some pretty big perks, as well as being able to deal with more patrons. Most people don't take promotions, I don't know why though. Bruce says he'll probably turn his down, but I keep telling him not to. Bruce has only lasted this long, in my opinion, because he's 6', 310 pounds, and a serial killer. He goes for coworkers, which is how he got caught. Death can only follow you to so many jobs before it becomes suspicious. But yeah, he got sent here to retirement. He volunteered to work, for some reason. Then there's Millie. Millie killed a lot of kids. We don't like Millie here. Jeffrey is pretty cool. He hasn't done anything weird, which I guess is pretty weird itself. People have to be pretty off to want to work here. The dishwashers are the worst. Nothing here is ever clean, and they always smell like drugs and rot. They look like corpses, and at this point I don't even know how they get to work. I can't stand them. I got promoted. I have a busy week ahead of me. A promotion, retirement, then I have to die. Being a manager is tough. I have about 5 more days, so expect more stories as I get closer to the death date. Being a manager comes with some pretty cool perks. I get an extra minute on my break, and $2 more per hour. I don't do this for the money though. I do this out of love for the patrons. And it seems like this place calls to me when I'm away from it. I find myself waking up here even though I went to sleep at home. I guess that's what will make me a good manager though. Becoming the manager also comes with more responsibilities. I am now in charge of more of our patrons, as well as our haunted objects. One of my favorite new charges is Tommy the Talented. He used to belong to a famous ventriloquist before he was found dead. The cause of death is unknown, but if you go on certain online forums, many people have the theory that the doll is responsible. I find that silly, as I don't believe that Tommy would do anything like that. He has his own room here, and we are told to treat him like any normal patron here. We bring him 3 meals a day, bring him down to participate in group activities, and he leaves requests outside of his room. He slides notes under his door or something does. We never see him move, but we have to knock before entering his room. I think that he is alive, personally. Another object that I take care of is the widow's tea set. In a room at the end of the top floor's hallway sits the widow's tea set. On the floor, there sits 3 cups, with a teapot in the middle, in between 2 chairs. What most people wouldn't know is that the 2 chairs are a part of the tea set. That's right, 3 cups, 2 chairs, 1 teapot, no table. That's the tea set. People say that when you sit on the chair to the left, pour tea from the pot, and look into the cup, instead of your reflection, you can see how to prevent your death, but for a cost of something dear to you. When you look into the cup while sitting on the right chair, you can see your new death, which will either be faster than your original death, or your death will be delayed. But even more painful. My job is to make sure that the door to the room stays locked. Another important aspect of the managerial work is making sure people keep the place semi-clean. We live with a different sort of clientele, so deep cleaning is basically pointless. We do have a monthly cleaning, where we call in crime scene cleaners, but they've stopped coming after complaints of harassment by the patrons. So now all cleaning duties are left to the staff. Managers don't necessarily have to clean, but I wouldn't feel like a good manager if I skipped out on the dirty work. I don't think that I'll be alive for the next cleaning though, which is a shame. People around here have been acting weird around me. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a manager now or if it is because I'll be dead soon, but my coworkers seem to be being extra nice to me, even the dishwashers. The patrons have been acting odd too, like talking about a retirement tea party. I don't like parties for myself, they make me feel self-centered. I got called into the boss's office today. I was super nervous, but it turns out he wanted to congratulate me before I retired. I told that I was also supposed to die soon, and he seemed pleased. He said that it was all according to plan, and to do what feels natural. He asked if I wanted time off, which I vehemently denied. I never want to stop working here. We had a great conversation, which was a first for me, talking to a goat-headed statue, After meeting the boss, I've decided that I don't want to die anymore. I told him I don't want to stop working here, and I meant it. I think that I'll go to the teapot. I guess I'll tell you some more about the job before taking my gamble. How about getting to know some of the managers? Yeah, that should do. First up are the twins, Manny and Manny. They would normally be easy to confuse, but they are conjoined at the hip. Probably makes getting dressed pretty awkward, huh? The Mannies are pretty chill, just do not look at their hip or their hunchback. Then there's Jaylee. She's less okay. She doesn't join in on cleaning but loves to tell people how to do their job, even though she doesn't know what she's talking about. She sucks. I tried to talk to the boss today, but they said he was out. He's been out almost all day. He moves around a lot for a statue. I don't want to die. And I know what I have to do. The only way to cheat the typewriter. The widow's tea set. I unlock the doors and sit on the chair to the left. I'm ready for whatever cost I have to pay. I'm writing all of this before I pour the tea. See you later. I got out. I'm home. I poured the tea, looked in, and my boss called, making me drop the cup, almost breaking it. He called to say that while he was sad that I chose to resign, but hoped I planned to move on to bigger and better things. He said that if I ever need a reference, I can always put the Arden home down. Patrons are rarely let out of the home. Employees are told to never visit the homes of other employees. I say this because as I'm sitting writing this down, people are knocking on my door hard, telling me to come out, to tell them why I quit, so that they had a party planned for me. I don't understand. I should have prevented my death. I gave up my job. I should get to live. I'm going to open the door. Maybe they just want to talk. They don't. They said that they'll let me finish writing this, but then it's time for tea.